Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from Campus Reform that was published on April 22nd and is written by Kyle Hooten. Before we get into it, I just got to say, I love how with this idea of identity politics, you have these oppressed groups and classes and, with the intersectionality, you can have, one person who can claim 65 million things and claim they're oppressed and get preferential treatment. Now, you would think when you constantly see examples of preferential treatment happening for certain groups that the sham, the lie, it would, basically end up crumbling in on itself and reality would, prevail. But we don't exactly have that situation. So anyway, the title here, graduation canceled, except for students of color and LGBTQ, AEIOU, and sometimes Y students. I added the everything else past the A. But anyway, so St Olaf Collage here has postponed graduation ceremonies for the class of 2020 until next year, but will still host virtual festivities for minority students only. Seniors at the school say they have not been informed of any similar virtual festivities for the general student body. So here you are. You have, the students of color, which to me, this idea of anything of color, person of color or whatever, it's racist. They've embraced this term that is inherently racist. Or phrasing in this case of student of color. But yeah, basically they're getting preferential treatment. They're still going to get their little graduation ceremony, even if virtually. They get to virtue signal getting their degrees virtually. But anyway, let's get into the article here. St. Olaf College in Minnesota plans to host 3 virtual graduation ceremonies for different groups of minority students, while others must wait until next year to celebrate their completion of college. Which, right there, that's showing preferential treatment. That's, basically saying they are an elevated class because they get to do this while everyone else gets told, screw you, you got to wait until next year. Self-identified domestic student of color, international students, and LGBTQ AEIOU students at the Minnesota school will receive their own virtual graduation ceremonies at the conclusion of this year amid the Wu-Flu pandemic, per an administrative email. Meanwhile, graduation for the rest of the class of 2020 has been rescheduled for a date in late May, early June of 2021, according to the school's website. So basically, they got to wait a full year to go through their graduation ceremony. That how ridiculously not for me, but for not for thee, but for me is this? I mean, this is seriously beyond the point of preferential treatment. And I would put money that the students that are getting these special ceremonies will also get to participate with the regular graduation class, ceremony itself. Will get to participate in it. I would not doubt that. The 3 virtual graduation ceremonies for students and minority groups were announced by and will be hosted through the Taylor Center for Equity and Inclusion. Well, of course, it's an on-school equity, inclusion, identity politics, leftist organization that's behind this. This project of the school exists to help students of color, LGBTQIA, whatever, plus, exclamation point, squared, whatever else you want to throw in, and international students celebrate their awesomeness factor per the center's website. So are you going to basically have international students that are like lily white Irish being able to do this as well, or are they excluded? Because I'm assuming it's only for those non-white foreign students. I just a guess. This is I seriously look at this shit and I just want to be like, oh God, where the hell has my generation gone wrong? Because Gen X produced a lot of these shitbricks in college right now. And us nihilists, for some reason, didn't have that extend to our children. Because, I mean, we were the generation of nihilists. I mean, grunge and, yeah, we would just, the idea of, I mean, look at Dario was kind of like a personification of it, with like MTV or whatever, but that was kind of like the thing back then, and we get this happening now. The center announced its intent to host the online graduation ceremonies via email Friday. This event acknowledges the value and uniqueness of students' experiences and serves to commemorate and highlight the accomplishments of individuals within their familial and cultural contexts, reads the email. Okay. So basically what you're saying is they get special treatment and get to show off that they got their diplomas while everyone else gets to go screw. And I don't understand how a virtual graduation allows for the whole familial thing, because the whole familial thing is your family goes to your graduation and watches you go up there and get your diploma. It's not like you're going to have that happen when someone's just reading off your fucking name on a webcam. Oh, God. The 3 graduations are called the Multicultural, International, and Lavender graduations and are intended for American students of color, international students, and LGBTQ plus students, respectively. Now, which one is the lavender one for, I wonder? Oh, God, that's freaking hilarious. Oh, my God. Campus Reform spoke to multiple graduating seniors at St Olaf, none of whom said they've been informed of any online ceremony for the general student body. Well, of course not, because they're not, quote-unquote, oppressed. And what gets me about this is we're oppressed. We're second-class citizens, and you get treatment like this, and it's, if someone points out that, these groups are getting this type of treatment, then they're racist, or they're a homophobe, or they're a sexist, or whatever other freaking thing they can throw. They'll say that you're a subscriber to the beliefs of a certain, 1930s through 40s German group that had a guy with a fucked up mustache running them. I mean, seriously. This is ridiculous. Associate Director of Communications Carrie Vanderveen told Campus Reform that the school is exploring a number of ways to celebrate the class of 2020, but that plans were not yet finalized. The school website also makes no mention of such an event. Oh, of course it isn't going to mention such an event, because they weren't planning on having it, but now that people are going, what the fuck? Yeah, it's kind of coming back to bite them in the ass a little bit here. I just had to show this article because I just got a kick out of this, that in Minnesota, you've got the identity politics leftist bullshit. Oh, God. Makes me wonder because, all right, complete kind of tangent idea. All right, Richard Dean Anderson from Minnesota has always kind of had Minnesota things worked into different things he's done, like MacGyver and Stargate SG-1, and there have been jokes with Minnesota and stuff like that. He's not exactly, from the looks of things, say Mr. Politically, correct here. I wonder what would have if Stargate SG-1 was running right now. I wonder what would be slipping through on the note of Minnesota cracks, because I also don't necessarily think some of the writers are politically correct when you look at some of the jokes they've cracked over the years. But yeah, I mean, because this is a joke. This is so seriously. It's so funny that I want to laugh, but on the same note, it's so pathetic and sad and a sign of how things are with this whole identity politics thing. I mean, they're seriously still trying to make this situation relevant. Okay, we have the whole nation being shut down by this, with authoritarian governors like Whitmer, thinking, that they are the law, they think they're the chubby version, female version of Judge Dredd, and you're going to do what she tells you to do or else type thing. But you have that type of stuff going on. You have our economy, getting screwed over right now. Americans getting screwed over because of the situation and because of the economy. And you got to have the LGBTQ AEIOU and the students of color going, we want to be special. We want to have our graduation. Well, everyone else, fuck you. Yeah. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.